merde.
We have breaking news tonight. At least 80 people are dead and dozens injured in a horrific attack in France. One witness calling the scene apocalyptic. And although no one has claimed responsibility, French officials say it does look like terrorism. Horror tonight in the French resort town of Nice.
It was sheer terror.
A truck turned lethal weapon, plowing through a crowded promenade, killing at least 80 people, including children, and wounding more than 65, according to French authorities.
It was looking for a place to hide, it was running.
I did see it hit a few people, and there were a few people lying on the ground.
All across France, fireworks lighting up the skies to celebrate France's national holiday, Bastille Day. And in Nice,
people were just enjoying the music, beautiful ambiance. It was amazing. People were having fun, and so many people were there.
And there must have been thousands of people watching this show.
But just after midnight in Nice, screams of terror and panic.
We started running. See a lot of people ducking, looking for doorways, places to hide. There's another sound of shooting in the air. And so then we go into a nearby restaurant and hide in an alleyway that we could get to from the back of it.
Nice is the gateway to the French Riviera, a ritzy tourist destination for Americans and Europeans. Sam Jones was visiting from the UK.
We saw thousands of people running towards us.
He was exiting a waterfront hotel when he says he first noticed something was wrong.
They were all screaming and everyone was running in every direction. Seconds later, this giant white van came bolting down this road. It was just taking out people left, right and centre. We began to run because everyone was frantically running because we had no idea what was actually happening.
Another eyewitness, Jimmy Gazal, describing the chaos.
I heard loud noises and people started screaming and shots being fired up in the air. And everyone started running in different parts.
Authorities say that truck was loaded with guns and grenades. The driver speeding through crowds for more than a mile, shooting a firearm out the window.
When we were running away, apart from all the screaming, that we did hear shots fired, which I assume to be the police.
The driver was shot by police after an exchange of gunfire. The bullet-riddled windshield, evidence of the carnage. A trail of bodies left in its path. This video shared via social media, providing a look at the desperate moments following the attack. Among the dead, 2 Americans, Sean Copeland and his son Brody. His baseball team posting this message on Facebook. You're in our hearts, thoughts, and prayers. Rest in peace. Brody and Sean, you'll be remembered by many. Authorities say they are not aware of any accomplices and are investigating this as an act of terror.
La France est affligée.
French President François Hollande speaking tonight, saying France is deeply affected by this new tragedy and horrified by what has just occurred. France has been a target before. Just this past November, 130 people were killed as Islamic militant suicide bombers and gunmen opened fire on the streets of Paris inside a concert hall in France's national stadium. The country was put on a nationwide state of emergency. It was to be lifted in a matter of weeks, but has now been extended 3 more months, leaving France as a nation on edge. We'll continue to bring you the very latest on this story throughout the night and on abcnews.com.
The moment a truck speeds up and then ploughs through crowds of people gathering for a national celebration in Nice in France. The vehicle travelled for more than a mile along the waterfront promenade, knocking people over before stopping. Here, police can be seen firing into the cab of the truck. At least 84 people were killed, with many more injured. Security officials said that the truck driver, who was shot dead, was a 31-year-old of Tunisian descent. the man isn't known to have had any connection to terrorist groups. As the injured were treated on the Riviera city's Promenade, security could be seen arriving in helicopters, where a clearly shocked Franck Sidoli described what he'd seen. He said a lorry arrived and smashed into everyone. Everyone. There was no security, and it took firemen 25 minutes or half an hour to arrive. Footage quickly began to surface on social media channels of crowds running for their lives. Speaking on Thursday night, the French president, François Hollande, blamed Islamic terrorism. He called the incident a deliberate killing and extended France's state of emergency for 3 months. Thursday was France's National Day, Bastille Day, and is celebrated in much the same way that America does Independence Day on the 4th of July.
You know what happened in Paris?
It commemorates the storming of the Bastille in 1789, an important event in the French Revolution. Arriving for the Asia-Europe meeting in Mongolia on Friday, world leaders condemned the attack in Nice. Donald Tusk, president of the European Council, said it was a sad day for France and for Europe, especially on Bastille Day.
It's a tragic paradox that the subject of the attack were people celebrating liberty, equality and fraternity.
Thursday night's attack in France is a huge blow to a nation still dealing with the aftermath of terror attacks in November in Paris, which killed 130, and another terror attack in January, which killed 17.
Really sad detail about the children, I think, is probably one of the most jarring things that François Hollande said when he said that there were several children that were among the dead. It seems as if there's almost nothing that he could say at the microphone that would give any comfort to what has to the people there in Nice because of what is happening.
You can't bring comfort to families that have been torn apart like this. You can't bring comfort to the parents of children. They might be lying in hospital right now. They don't even know their children are dead. It is ghastly that this has been brought into one of the most popular beachfronts on the Côte d'Azur. This is one of the most luxurious and beautiful areas, one that I know very well, that so many people know very well, and have this horror with staining the memory of the Promenade des Anglais is exactly what the intention of the attack was. It was to bring this terror to the people of France on the holiday coast, which is packed with tourists at this time of year, and especially on the fireworks night of Bastille Day. So it was a deliberate attempt to bring terror to innocent people, to innocent families, just enjoying the night out, traditional night out, celebrating the French Revolution. It was deliberately launched at this particular time to cause a maximum number of casualties. And as our previous correspondent said, there must be a lot of questions to be answered by the French, but on their side, on the security side, there is a multiplicity of targets on Bastille Day. They could have struck anywhere if they had enough time, and nobody knew coming here to the beachfront of
Slowly at first, the white truck made its way down the Promenade des Anglais. Then, with the crowds who'd gathered for Bastille Day firmly in his sights, Mohamed Bouhlel sped up.
It all happened so quickly. The truck was going 70 miles an hour. My wife was about 10 feet in front of me, and she screamed out loud, "Greg, look out, there's a truck." And then I looked straight ahead, and I saw the truck in front of me, the big white truck. I had a choice to either jump to my right or jump to my left because the truck was swerving. So I had to make a decision which way to jump. I decided to jump to my left, and thank God I did, because if I didn't, I would have been dead.
86 people did die in the attack, and those that survived suffered horrific injuries, road crash injuries, but on a massive scale. Greg's leg was fractured in 8 different places, but amidst the chaos, all he could do was wait for help.
an ambulance didn't come for me because they were too busy with people who were dead or who were more injured than me. So a good Samaritan, a French gentleman, came by in his car and picked me up and whisked me to Hospital Bastille.
That night, 300 people were treated here. It was the first time the doctors at Pasteur had seen anything like it. Sadly, the man who saved Greg's leg doesn't think it will be the last.
We know that it can happen again, and unfortunately, but this is what we have to face, actually. We have to realize that we are in war.
Mohamed Bouhlel's attack was the third major terror attack in France over an 18-month period. But for the first time, the victims were mostly families.
I have hatred, of course, for that person. You know, I have a lot of anger when I think about it. Why me, of course, comes up. I mean, how could it be me and my family?
Greg's 10-year-old daughter was also injured in the attack, but she was one of the lucky ones. That night, 10 children lost their lives.
I was shouting to everybody, like, help, help. There was ambulances everywhere and people trying to help and taxis, and it was just like a crazy night.
Do you know, do you wonder about why what happened?
Well, I know that for some reason it happened, and I know that it was there for some reason. It happened, and only God knows what it's for.
3 months on, the senselessness of Mohamed Bouhlel's attack is remembered here every day, with flowers and poems and toys. Melissa Bell, CNN, Nice.